What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about basically the future of Kingdom Hearts. What should we be expecting of this franchise going forward over the next couple years here? So we know, and people are pointing this out, and actually, funny enough, I don't think you guys saw this video, and I don't blame you because YouTube is pretty terrible at pushing these things out. Months ago, when Nomura talked about 2022 and how that's an important year, obviously, right, because of an anniversary, and keep your eyes on it, and you know that'll just generally be a big year for Kingdom Hearts. I made a whole video on that, and I don't think a lot of people actually knew that I made a video on it, but I do want to recap that in a way and talk about, what should we be expecting over the coming years? Okay, so where are we with Kingdom Hearts? Well, funny enough, and people have said this, where it's like, people have made jokes that, will we get this or this before we get Kingdom Hearts, right? Like those long extended, those jokes of like, will the world end before we get the ending of Kingdom Hearts? And, I mean, I agree, they're funny. They're very funny to look at. They're funny to come up with. But if you think about it, to give them some sort of credit, even though I'm going to take it back in a second, they've technically given us 3 games in less than 2 years. Almost 2 years, but less than 2 years. We got Kingdom Hearts 3, we got Remind, and we got Melody of Memory, all within 2 years of each other. Now, and we also technically got Dark Road. I don't want to count that out, although maybe you should, or, whatever you want to do, right? But the thing to note that is the funny part is, well, technically, in terms of story that push, or like cutscenes or narrative that pushes the entirety of Kingdom Hearts forward, in reality, since Kingdom Hearts 3, we've gotten like an hour to an hour and a half of it, right? Remind was 95% the exact same game, and then 5 to 10% new stuff, and even like cutscenes. You have this game, Melody of Memory, which, remember, another thing that I don't think a lot of people saw, but I do want to pat myself on the back because these are examples, by the way, of me being right. I know some people will sometimes say for theory videos or whatever that I'm never right. I am. Sometimes people just don't see it. I actually predicted that this game, Melody of Memory, would end and I actually said, please don't be 15 to 20 minutes. Almost, I think, word for word, I said that. Don't be 15 to 20 minutes of Kairi stuff at the very end. I would appreciate it if they sprinkled it throughout the game. Now, I'm not going to talk about the quality of Melody of Memory, but the point is, that's exactly what they did. It's a 20-minute cutscene, actually kind of even less, I would say, with Kairi, with setting up the future of Kingdom Hearts, right? That's what we got out of Melody of Memory. So in reality, since Kingdom Hearts 3, we've gotten a solid hour of new stuff, which I'm not, this is not like a let's destroy Kingdom Hearts discussion. We could have that discussion later on. You guys know I'm a really big fan of Kingdom Hearts. I've loved this franchise for a long time. I love talking about it. I love covering it. So the thing is, all right, well, where do we go from here? Well, we can talk about the specific game, and we'll kind of recap what I've said in the ending explain and other videos as well. They have options, right? We could do Kingdom Hearts 4. We could do a Verum Rex. We could have Yozora. We could have Riku trying to save Sora and bringing him back and all that stuff. We could do that. We could have a Mickey kind of standalone thing, which would kind of be weird, but, fine. We could have an Aqua Kairi training session, which would also be kind of weird, but would also actually be really, really cool, right? Girl power, if you care about that. And also, it would just be really cool to see more of those two characters. Those are really, really cool characters just overall. So they have options. I guess you could go a Donald and Goofy route too. Do you do a game that other people have suggested too that brings them back together before you do a Kingdom Hearts 4? Well, I do want to get this out of the way first. I have said for a very, very, very long time that and this is kind of a joke more jabbing at Kingdom Hearts, I do not think we're going to go through 2021 without a Kingdom Hearts game. I think we're going to get, yet again, another putting every game together thing where they'll have Kingdom Hearts 3 in it, where they'll have Remind in it, where they will have Melody of Memory. Because although Kingdom Hearts 3 was supposed to be the end of this chapter, then it became, Remind became the end of this chapter, then it became, Melody of Memory is literally a recap of this chapter and also extending it a little bit. Now that we're done here, and didn't Nomura even coin when he was talking about 2022, I'm pretty sure in that same interview, or maybe it was like a year ago, I'm pretty sure he said, no, it was when they announced Dark Road. Remember they had the chart that had phase 1. He literally is pulling a Marvel tactic on us, where he's like, yeah, the last 20 years is phase 1. There's more phases to go, which is, I mean, it's laughable in a more I don't hate him, I don't hate Kingdom Hearts, but it's more this is kind of like a joke in some sort of sick way, but we're all going to, like I've said, us Kingdom Hearts fans, I mean, we're buckled in for the next like 100 years. Like there's no kicking us off. There's no like making us hate the situation. Like we're just in, right? So I do think in 2021, so we talk about, what's coming next. Let me start with 2021. 2021, I do think will be a game where they maybe even literally call it like phase 1. I know there's been different names. I know other people have even said different names of what you could call, I guess, these phases. They could do something like that where it's like, okay, the 1.5 and the 2.5 and all of the different collections. One more, because I was going to say one definitive, collection, even though they've said that like 18 times at this point. Let's do it one more time, put them all together. You have Melody of Memory, you have Remind, and you have Kingdom Hearts 3, along with all of the other stuff that you can. I mean, all the other stuff you can get in one standalone thing, but you can't get them all, right? Which, do you really need to get them all in one thing? No, but I mean, that won't stop them from making it. You know what I mean? So that's what I think is coming next year. And I think, to be honest with you, that's it. I don't really see, because no matter what, whether it's a spin-off game, whether you want to call it Birth by Sleep 2 or Dream Drop Distance 2 or Kingdom Hearts 4 or Kingdom Hearts whatever, right? Maybe they make up another new subtitle, right? Which, honestly, they very well could. I know I saw some people say that could be the route. I mean, yeah, because right now, if you think about it, when you have like 358 over 2, you have Dream Drop Distance. I mean, all of these are created names that are kind of like wedges of Kingdom Hearts. They're kind of, they're kind of like alleys that Kingdom Hearts has gone down. You could go back to them and extend them into their own franchises, right? Birth by Sleep 2, Dream Drop Distance 2, but Chain of Memories. But you could just create another new name and go down that route. And I know that's where a lot of people are kind of at right now. So 2022 is the 20th year anniversary of Kingdom Hearts. Huge. It would be a good year to have Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm not going to lie. I feel like it would be a big year to have Kingdom Hearts 4. Do I think we're at that point? I think you guys have made some really, really good points. I think I agree with them. And me, and my, just myself, my own mind, I have always been kind of skeptical that we were going to just jump straight to, even when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, you guys can actually go back and watch videos for proof. We were saying, yeah, they could go to Kingdom Hearts 4, but, could they do a Birth by Sleep 2 with Aqua, Ven, and Terra and go another route with that? Now they have Kairi attached, right? So I really do feel like we're going to get that. Now that doesn't do anything negative to it. I don't know if that would feel kind of anticlimactic. I would say no. I would say maybe from like a larger point of view, fans that aren't diehards, people that like Kingdom Hearts or have played one or two of them, or like maybe the main installments but never really play the side ones, maybe they'd be disappointed because they'd be like, okay, he talked up 2022. It's the 20th year anniversary of Kingdom Hearts 1. The main installments sell the best. They do the best. More people are interested in that. I mean, I think that's factual, right? More people are interested in the main installments than the side stuff. The side stuff still has a lot of interest. You can even see it. Melody of Memory is probably the weakest of the side installments in terms of, not necessarily in terms of quality, but in terms of like people's excitement. And still there is people that are very interested even in just 20 minutes of cutscenes that game provided. You know what I mean? I think Dream Drop, I think Birth by Sleep, I think 358, I think all those actually had a very fair amount of people that were very interested in it. You know what I mean? Even 2.8, and even like the Aqua, like the Fragmentary Passage, that one had like quite a lot of people interested in it, right? So I think it'll still be a big year no matter what in 2022, but I think it's probably leaning towards I wouldn't even say spin-off, because I don't know if that's technically insulting those games, like saying that they're lesser than, because we all know as Kingdom Hearts fans, they are not lesser than, right? They're just as important, if not actually more important than the main installments, right? Because again, I think those are a little bit more like streamlined for like a general audience. Maybe that is kind of behind the scenes how they even think of them. But I do agree with you guys. I think 2022 will be the next big Kingdom Hearts game, but it probably will not be Kingdom Hearts 4. If anything, I do agree it should be something that gets them back together. Although I will argue a Kingdom Hearts 4 is a perfect setup of a game to play as all of these different characters in all of these different situations. Because if you do a spin-off game and you do that exact same thing, and then you bring them all back for Kingdom Hearts 4, well, now you need to kind of one-up yourself with Kingdom Hearts 4. You still probably need us to play, or want us to play as all these different characters again, and do even more stuff and go to even more places. You know what I mean? So if you do a spin-off game to get everybody back together, you're kind of doing not like an Avengers Infinity War or Endgame of Kingdom Hearts, but you're doing something like really big scale, and you're doing it in a quote unquote side game that maybe not everybody will even know. However, I guess if you did do that, you would get a lot of eyes on it, where it's like, okay, well, it's not Kingdom Hearts 4, but trust me, this is important, because this is you will not be able to play Kingdom Hearts 4 if you do not play this, right? One final thing I want to say. I wonder, and maybe I can make this its own video. I just want to throw this out here so you guys think we'll end it. Could they do a Kingdom Hearts 1 remake? 20 years, a very old game. We're in an age of remakes. Square Enix, Final Fantasy VII remake. Nomura, it knows how to do remakes. He's done them you know what I mean? Do they do that? That's all I want to say. I may have just walked myself into the next video. Let me do that in a new video. But let me know in the comments below if you guys want that, what you guys think, and also, again, what you guys think about Kingdom Hearts going forward in general. Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. I have a Twitter, Podcast Now 15. I have a Discord server. I have a second channel, Podcast Now Plus. If you guys want to support me in any of those places, I would really, really appreciate it. Again, they're all in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. More Kingdom Hearts videos still coming, and this is a long run game, right? This is something we're going to be covering for years and years on end, and I cannot wait. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you all on the next video.